thank you for joining us for this week's edition of Southwest Connections, our campus-based TV show that brings you the stories and highlights of the many great people that make Southwest the wonderful place that it is. I'm Bill Mulsel, the host of your show, so let's hear what's going on around campus. My guests for today's show are Paige Ahrendt and Jackson Vierstraete. They're the 2020 recipients of the President's Regional Scholars Full Ride Scholarship. Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Good to have you here. First of all, congratulations. That's quite an honor you received, and I know that's something that really excites President Jayasuriya when he talks about our full ride scholars, and you two were two of the first.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome receiving the scholarship and just going through the process, and it's been an honor so far, and it's awesome representing SMSU in that way. So.
Well, we appreciate that. Thanks for joining us today. Paige, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to SMSU.
So I'm from Pipestone, Minnesota, not too far from here, and I was kind of looking originally at SMSU because of the education program. I'd heard really good things here, and I wanted to be in education, preferably physical education, and so that really drew me here. And then also I had a great opportunity with softball to come here and pursue my athletic career, which I've always been in sports, and I really wanted to keep doing that because it keeps me busy and I don't know what I would do without it. And then I found out because of my GPA I was able to interview for this awesome scholarship, and I honestly went into it just kind of whatever, if I get it, I get it, and then I wound up getting it, and I was like, wow, okay, I guess like that was a good thing to do. So it just all kind of lined up extremely perfect. Like I got the scholarship that's just above and beyond, and I got to pursue my athletics, and it's a program that's really great for my education as well. So
that's great. Jackson, how about you?
It was just awesome getting the scholarship. I'm originally from Marshall. I've grown up in the area. I've been to many SMSU athletic events and just grown up with SMSU a part of my life. My mom works here, and then I applied for the scholarship. It was like this, I don't know what, it was like the winter or whatever, my senior year. I wasn't thinking about doing any sports. I was just really focused on my education, and there was a couple different places I was looking at. And SMSU, it was top spot, and I was deciding to go here. And then the scholarship opportunity came up, so I applied for it, and I got it, which is awesome because my family lives in this area. I have a family history of a lot of relatives that have graduated from SMSU, and it was the perfect place for me. And the scholarship just kind of put a exclamation mark on that, kind of like just a cherry on top, you know. So it was awesome.
So, Paige, you're interested in education. How about you, Jackson? Have you got a major in mind yet? Or
I got a couple majors. I'm right now double majored in biology and accounting, and I have a minor I'm working towards in environmental science.
Awesome. So you're kind of all over the map on the academic front. That's great.
Yeah, it's unique.
So Paige, I know you're involved in softball, so you're right in the middle of softball season. That probably takes up a little bit of time. How's that been going so far this year?
It's really good. As I mentioned, I'm in the physical education program, but I'm also health education and sports management. So I technically got 3 majors going on. And
she didn't want to. She wanted you to know she's got 3 as well.
And I also have a couple minors too. So it's a lot of schoolwork, and it was okay in the fall, and it's definitely kind of building up now that we're in season. But I don't think it's anything I can't handle. It's just kind of timing out. I've always been really good at time management, but just specifically like, okay, I need to work on my homework in this gap of time between lifting and practice, and just finding time to make sure I'm getting everything done and I eat enough and I drink enough, just having that blocked out schedule, I guess, to make sure I don't forget anything.
Jackson, I know you're involved in some activities as well.
Yeah, I'm actually a part of this has been the first year of the esports program at SMSU. I've competed in a couple games, those being Counter-Strike and Valorant, and it's relatively new to university, it being its first year, but I've had a blast competing in those games and practicing and getting to know the guys on the team, and I'm excited to continue competing in them this next year, so it'll be awesome.
So, getting a scholarship like that, how has it changed your experience here this first year? Obviously, you don't have anything to compare to in prior years, but how has that had an impact on you, receiving a scholarship of this nature?
You want it?
Sure, I'll take it. I'm honestly, like, as soon as I got the call, I was just like huge weight lifted off my back, knowing I don't have to worry about having that debt and applying for student loans and everything. I think that's just a huge weight right away, just lifted off. And it's kind of like I mentioned earlier, I'm super busy with everything. I love everything I'm doing, but I'm busy, and I think not having to worry about how am I going to pay for next semester? Do I need to watch the number of classes I'm taking? I think that's just a huge benefit, just not to have to even worry about that stuff, just to know that I'm going to get what I need to get, and it's all going to work out really nicely.
What about you, Jackson?
Yeah, I kind of feel that, not the exact same way, but I definitely share some of the same sentiments as Paige. Being able to just focus mainly on my competing in esports and primarily mainly on my studies, and just making sure I'm fully focused on my classes and not worried about trying to work a couple jobs outside of my courses and on top of everything. I feel like I would be a lot more stressed if I had to add that to my schedule. So that definitely was a huge help.
I think everybody kind of assumes the things that go on with being a student athlete in esports is very similar. That there's a time commitment there and some responsibilities that you have as a participant and a member of those teams as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we practice the same amount of times a week, or sometimes even more than your more traditional sports, and compete multiple times a week. So yeah, you could call it this commitment about the same.
So question for you, Paige, I'll start with you on this one. You get a scholarship like this, did you feel any added pressure?
Honestly, I don't feel any added pressure from the scholarship, I wouldn't say, because I'm extremely hard on myself with everything I do. You can ask my past coaches, teachers, my current coach, teammates. I've always been super hard on myself. I expect perfection. I always have. So I don't think this scholarship necessarily did that to me. I kind of already do it to myself. And I always kind of said, when I get to college, I'll be easier on myself with classes and stuff. But I'm still anything less than perfect isn't good enough for me. So I keep that pressure on myself.
High expectations.
Yes.
How about you, Jackson?
Similarly with myself, I hold myself to a high standard when I'm working in my courses. So scholarship doesn't really add that much extra pressure. I already am making sure that I'm doing the best I can, the most I can to be successful. So.
And obviously you two have a history of being successful, otherwise you wouldn't be sitting here as those recipients today. So you both started freshmen in a kind of a unique situation. COVID obviously has been the underlying story with everything. How's that first year been with some of the things that you maybe wouldn't have gotten to participate as a normal freshman in a normal year? How's it been, Jackson?
It's definitely been different from what I've heard talking to some of my buddies that have been going here that are older and are juniors and seniors. It's been different. It's not that there hasn't been an overall just the same amount of opportunities to be active in different clubs and stuff, because obviously there's COVID. You have to respect that, and you have to respect that environment that comes with having to be safe. So yeah, that's definitely been what I've heard as a difference, but I think it's been pretty well. I've got to know quite a few people, gotten to expand my friend groups, and yeah, I've been involved I mainly focus my time on number one's my studies, and then in my free time it's mainly just esports and that type of stuff. So I kind of just grind that out of the way, and I guess I don't really notice the rest. So yeah, that's my take.
How about you, Paige?
I think I've had a lot of people come up to me and be like, I feel so bad for you freshmen, can't imagine this being your first year. And I think, honestly, it's not as bad as people think, because we don't know anything different. So I think it still doesn't, I think what gets me the most is hearing from my teammates, we didn't get to go on our Florida trip this year, and we're still having fun with each other. We're still getting to know each other, play games. It's great. But little things like that, or team activities we haven't gotten to do, I think that's where I notice it more so, is just I don't really know too many people off of my team. I think being on a team is super helpful. I don't think, if I would have came here and not been on a team, I don't know if I really would have gotten to know that many people. So I think that's probably the biggest part of it.
So next year, when everything returns to normal, cross our fingers,
yes,
what are you looking forward to the most?
Going to Florida.
Going to Florida.
I would say that. I think seeing people's faces, you don't realize how much you miss that until you're like, wow, that's what you look like without a mask on. definitely behaviors like that, just getting to walk around, see your friends, not have to worry about that type of stuff.
Jackson, how about you? What are you
Yeah.
looking forward to?
Definitely just being able to see people like in their, like with the masks on, it's just a lot less impersonal. Like just walking around and talking with your friends, because like it was kind of funny on my esports team and then a couple other buddies. I just got so used to talking to them with their masks on. Then we went out to eat one night, and like I was like kind of shocked because like I hadn't seen them before with their masks off, so it was like kind of weird. Like the weirdest. It wasn't one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had, but it's definitely up there. Just I don't know. You get so used to just talking to people with masks on, then it's a lot less impersonal than it would be with them off. So yeah.
So your SMSU experience is off to a great start. Let's look down the road. What kind of career aspirations do you have? Obviously, you've got some majors in mind that seem pretty focused. Jackson, yeah.
I honestly, I don't know exactly what like specific career I want to go into. I know I want to be working with wildlife biology, but also I feel like being like knowledgeable in business scenarios and that type of stuff. That's why obviously I went into my biology and accounting majors, but I don't know exactly what career, but I know I want to be working outside. I want to be working with wildlife and that type of stuff, and I just don't, and then, yeah, then there's always the accounting there. There's a lot of opportunities for that as well, so yeah, nothing is in mind yet, but.
That's great. You've got lots of options, and it's good you're thinking about it. So how about you, Paige?
Well, all of my majors kind of have a lot of overlap with sports and that type of thing, and I always thought about like PE teaching and athletic director, and I just added the sports management major in the late fall semester because I decided, like, everybody always asked me like what my dream job was. That was actually one of the questions for the scholarship, and I was like, I don't really know what my dream job would be. So I spent a lot of time thinking about that, and I think like if I could do anything, I'd want to work for a professional sports team, just be some type of management, working with players on their mental mindset so they can get their best performance from them. So a dream job would definitely be working with like the Minnesota Vikings or just some type of professional sports team. And if that doesn't necessarily work out, then for sure an athletic director, and I want to coach high school sports as well.
Good for you. I think there's lots of opportunities there, and I think you're both going to be hitting the job market in a time when there's going to be a lot of opportunities out there for college graduates. So good luck on everything you do as you keep working towards that.
Thank you.
So you've worked hard to get your scholarships. Is there a message that you would like to share with maybe some of your fellow students here, on what they can do to, be successful and maybe look at scholarships down the road? Because scholarships aren't something you just earn as a freshman. Mm-hmm. They are something that is available to students as you go along through your college career. So what message would you share with them, Paige?
Honestly, I got asked this in high school too when our local newspaper kind of asked us some questions for the future classes, and I just, like, my biggest thing is like keep working. Like if you're a sophomore and you're getting tired of it, like you just got to push through, because I promise like it's worth it at the end. So I would say definitely, like, no matter what, just keep working, just know it's going to be worth it. And scholarships are huge financially. Even if I wouldn't have been lucky enough to get this full ride, I had already applied to a bunch of other scholarships, and I mean, free money is free money. Like $100, that adds up the more you get. So I would say just apply to scholarships, keep working hard, like you're gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel. So
good. Jackson, how about you? Anything you'd like to share?
Most of the people in my classes, or just most of the people you see here at SMSU, they're already like, they're here because they want to get an education for the betterment of themselves and hopefully get a high-paying job someday, right? So everyone here is invested in what they're doing and their coursework and all that, it feels like. So there's not much I would say besides just make sure, like, don't just like show up to class, like get invested and participate, and just, if you're just taking a course and you're just there, you're not going to get as much as if you're putting something into it and just kind of invested in it, because if you're not invested in it, then you're not going to get as much out of it.
Some good messages, both of you. Thank you. One last question for each of you. So Jackson, I'll start with you. If you could tell a prospective student and their parents why SMSU is the best place for them, what would it be?
Well, I'd start with the community here at SMSU. even though there's a lot of people that are here on campus and you won't ever get to know all of them, it seems like it's really easy to like form friend groups and like have like a circle of people that are around you and are really like, they'll support you and they'll help you achieve your goals. So that's the one thing. The professors here are pretty awesome. They're usually really understanding and very knowledgeable in what they teach, and yeah, that's why I would recommend it.
How about you, Paige?
I would say definitely just from coming on campus, the faculty was super nice, and they're very friendly and welcoming. I ask a lot of questions, and they answered all of my questions, and they were happy to do so. They weren't just trying to get me out of the way. Like, they wanted to explain things to me. They wanted me to understand. So I'd say all the faculty super helpful, super nice. And also, as Jackson kind of mentioned, the class sizes are very small, so the professors get to know you more one-on-one. Like, I've heard from people I know who go to the U of M in the cities, and they're just a seat in a lecture hall to their professors, where I think every one of my professors has known me by name, just looking at me. And that's been super helpful, just so that you can email them and ask them questions, and they're going to get back to you and they're going to help you. So I would say you're going to get the help you need. You're going to get a smile. You're going to get friendliness. It's just a great, welcoming place to be.
Awesome. Thank you, both of you. Well, I'd like to encourage everyone to keep up on the latest news and happenings here at Southwest over the rest of the academic year and throughout the summer. Be sure to follow us on our website at smsu.edu. And of course, follow us on our social media channels at SMSU Today on both Facebook and Twitter. So once again, thank you to our President's Regional Scholars, Jackson Vierstraete and Paige Ahrendt. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks everyone for watching.